All right, welcome to Universal Crypto News and weekly AMA show, where we give important updates on current and future projects we are working on at Universal, but also strive to create news content for the entire DeFi community to benefit from. We record live every week in our Discord server, then post our video to our YouTube channel. So please subscribe if you'd like to catch the videos as soon as they drop. If there are any questions for our team or topics you would like to see covered, please comment on our videos or drop them in the Discord server, and we'll be happy to address them as best we can. The goal is to be open and available to our investors while providing content that can help the entire space grow. All right, just a quick little disclaimer here. As always, there are lots of topics to cover, so we will let me give this brief disclaimer before we get right into it. This is not financial advice. We are not your financial advisors. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. A broad range of topics and opinions will be given freely today, so please do your own research. All right, let's get right into the headlines. Oh, and let me just introduce everybody. Today we have Wox, Ozzy, and special guest Lady Bossnack coming back again. How you doing?
Doing good,
Say,
doing good.
yeah,
Happy
say
to see
hello, everybody.
everybody and be back.
Yeah,
Thank you
welcome
for having
back.
me.
Of course. And it's always good to have Ozzy and nice to have Wox here too. And Adamus may jump in if his dogs are quiet enough. We'll see. All right. Getting right into the headlines around 10 p.m. Yesterday. Was it yesterday? On 10/6,
Yeah.
it was 2 days ago now. Binance temporarily paused the chain due to irregular activity. And they confirmed 70 million, or was it 100 million, stolen as a result of an on-chain hack, 7 million of which was frozen. And about 12 hours ago, it was back up and running again. What did you guys, were you guys keeping a close eye on that as it went down?
Yeah, I mean, it caught. I was out of the house when it happened, but I immediately heard, and geez, it was pretty hectic from what I was seeing because a lot of because when they paused the chain, they didn't announce it right away, and so people were getting like failed transactions left and right, and everyone wasn't sure what was going on. Um, and for this to happen to Binance, it's pretty like that's pretty major. It's been happening on Solana and a ton of other chains up into this point, but Binance had seemed pretty secure. And it kind of just shows what happens with centralization of Binance, because they were able to literally shut down the blockchain because of it, because of the hack. So that's
Yes,
kind of
so
interesting.
Solana had one on 9:30. Solana network stopped and was down for 6 hours. What is that, like the sixth time that's happened for them? I mean, it's just
Yeah,
like
because
normal operating procedure.
yeah, them it's because they get DDoSed attacks, which is kind of interesting. Like they get DDoS attacks, and so that's
What's
um,
DDoS? What is that?
um, basically just it's a way of like constantly pinging a server,
Uh,
um, and so that's what's happening to them. Like they keep getting multiple server ping attacks, which shut them down, whereas and force their servers to like stop operating. Whereas like Binance was like deliberately shut down and frozen by Binance.
hmm. I see. So when it happens on Solana, it's not their choice. It's just kind of gets
It
shut down, and they're the ones who get it back up and running, but it gets shut down by the attack.
yeah, and then in Binance case it was like a deliberate shutdown
Do you
by the
know
centralized authority.
technically what happened? I was kind of reading some of the things as they were coming out, but was it a flash loan, or do you
No,
know
they
how
hacked the bridge.
they hacked a bridge?
Yeah, they hacked an on-chain bridge, which has been like the source of most hacks lately. Um,
Hmm.
because bridges are really, really hard to make secure, and they're like a one centralized point where there's tons and tons of money. And so they hacked a bridge. They hacked Binance's bridge.
So they successfully stole money off the chain, is what it
Yep.
looks like.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
That's what I was following on Twitter last night. I was trying to keep up with all of it, and that's what I was seeing too. That it was from a bridge.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have my head totally around how, how they were able to steal money, but it has to do with bridges, okay? Good to
Like
know.
bridges. So the thing is that bridges hold a lot of funds on chain in one centralized location, so that
Mhm.
when, let's say, you want to go from Binance to AVAX or AVAX to Binance, it
They have a big
has the
pool.
funds. It has that pool of money on
Mm,
Binance that it can just give you on Binance because you gave it funds on AVAX.
okay.
And so those tend to have vulnerability. They're very hard to protect because of just the fact that they're so centralized and they hold so much funds. People keep trying to think they've made them secure and made them secure, but it keeps hackers keep finding a way um, to hack them. Like, it's simple as
You know,
that.
when I first came into DeFi, one of the first things I used was a bridge. So
Really.
it's definitely, yeah, like I had to move money on the Polygon. I had to get it there somehow. And I was using cryptos that I already had. I wasn't going to an exchange to buy them. I was just trying to figure everything out. But I used a bridge. One of the first things I did was use a bridge.
Interesting.
And, yeah, yeah. Um, but I mean, they're useful. Then they seem necessary at the moment. Hopefully they get more
Yeah.
secure.
They're right now, they're because we chains can't talk to each other. We're not chain agnostic right now. Yeah, we don't have much of a choice but to have bridges, unless we become dependent on like centralized exchanges to be able to move between chains, essentially, or peer-to-peer transactions. um so the other way, decentralized way that one could kind of get around um, the issue would be peer-to-peer transactions only. So
Right.
um, if you almost set it up like an escrow where you send money, you want money on Binance, someone has money on Binance and wants to go to AVAX, then it escrows that money um, as you go through all the transfers. Like, you deposit your money, you make sure, and it holds it till someone else deposits their money, and then it trades once everyone's deposited the right amount of money. Um, More complicated than that, but that would be one way. But yeah, they're just they're necessary,
Speaking
but
of
very challenging right now.
Well, speaking of peer-to-peer, I'm going to jump around a little bit here, but just throw in this fact: Bitcoin's never gone down. It's never gone offline, um, and it's peer. Especially the peer-to-peer decentralized version. It seems like the most pure version, potentially. I mean, obviously there are ways to use it that are less, that use centralized exchanges and stuff like that. But I don't know if you know this about me, but I spend a lot of time on DeFi, but I'm a Bitcoin maxi at heart. Deep down, I spend a lot of time in DeFi and do enjoy it and love it, but I really do believe in the technology of Bitcoin. It's what got me into all of this. So, but
I mean,
speaking of,
Bitcoin's the founder. Bitcoin's the
yeah, it's like the
original.
beginning, and it's and it's now one of the last standing proof of work. But the other proof of work was Dogecoin, which I brought up last week, which was interesting. And there's a little bit of news. It's kind of associated with Elon Musk, but kind of the next group of headlines. So Elon Musk and Twitter reportedly struggling to reach a final acquisition. So that's kind of been in the news and happening again. Elon Musk said the purchase of Twitter is an accelerant to creating a kind of everything app named X. He mentioned, and then also this was another little bit of news. Elon Musk, in the case of buying Twitter, wanted to introduce a fee for comments, tweets, and retweets in the amount of 0.1 Doge, which I thought was interesting because that Doge pumped a little bit over the past week or whatever. And just to throw this in, Tesla unveiled their AI bot Optimus. So it's kind of his work and the Twitter purchase kind of in the news. You think that's good for crypto in general?
I
Elon
think
Musk getting a hold of Twitter?
I don't know if it's good for crypto. I think it's good for Doge, just because Doge holders are such a meme at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's interesting. He just had a lot of headlines kind of going on. Twitter, AI bot,
Yeah.
Dogecoin, of course. I thought that point one, charging was interesting. But
Yeah.
while it's proof of work, it doesn't have good tokenomics. Like they just
Yeah.
create more and more Dogecoin. So
And really, like, no one's gonna want to pay to do a transaction. So, like,
yeah.
to post or to retweet, like, that's not.
Well, what if it's like a new thing? Like you can edit a post, like a new
Mm.
feature.
They have where you can edit posts, but you have to pay for Twitter Blue or something like that. Like,
There you go.
for like it shows like it's $3.99 or $4.99 a month. I think it shows, and it lets you edit your posts and stuff. So there is that already.
Have you
But
used that before, Net?
I just noticed that you could do it today. I was thinking about
Yeah, I think
signing
that's
up
pretty
for it.
new, right? It's like take back some words.
Yeah, because
Like,
I
oh
mess up
no.
sometimes, and I'm like, no, I can't edit. I hate that you can't edit on there. At least let me edit it one time.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. I'm totally with you on that. It's so annoying not to be able to edit.
I think most
Man,
people feel like that. Yeah.
I
Like,
wind up just deleting and redoing it all over again, which is also annoying. But because sometimes it's an important
Yeah.
word that gets missed, and I'm like, dang it, or important tag or something like that, or tag the
Right.
wrong one because there's multiple ones, and you just want to go back and fix it real quick, and you can't. So then I'm like, dang it, just wind up deleting it and restarting from the beginning.
yeah,
So
and I feel like that actually is gonna be the downfall of Twitter, is like the fact that you can't just edit what you post.
yes, it's
Is
I
like,
also
mean,
annoying that you
when you
can't.
publish something, you publish it. That's kind of the point,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Like,
true, true. But it's also annoying how like you can't delete like some people's tweets under yours that are like
mm,
scammers or
mhm,
like like you can report it, but you can't delete
mhm,
it. So that's kind of weird too. I feel like you should be able to, if it's under your post, like under your tweet that you made, I feel like you should be able to delete it, but I guess it doesn't let you delete it. So if it's like a spam something kind of tweet under your tweet, then you can report it, but you can't like just click to delete it.
yeah, the bot aspect of Twitter and the number of scams on Twitter is kind of insane. Um,
Yes.
just
yeah. So having
like,
some control over that, not necessarily a bad
Mhm.
thing.
yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of scams, the SEC charges Kim Kardashian 1.26 million after failing to disclose a $250,000 crypto token promotion. Did you guys see that?
I saw the news of that and I thought that was kind of funny because I hadn't heard of her
She
promoting.
she hashtagged an ad, but she didn't disclaim how much she made, and that's what they're getting her for. And she made 250,000, but they're charging her 1.26 million. I mean, I'm all for these people being charged um, for promoting scam coins, but it's just the way the SEC is going about it is a bit odd. They just want to make a high
Yeah, I don't.
profile scene, but
Yeah. Try to
it's like
put
what are they?
crypto in a negative light almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I wanted to just kind of tie it into this one. Um, Nancy Pelosi bought 10 million shares of company Weed. It went up 23% on rumors that Biden administration may announce legalizing marijuana ahead of the midterm elections.
Oh,
And
I missed
then,
that one.
yeah, so it's like, on one
That's
hand, they're
crazy.
getting on crypto, but on the other hand, they're still allowing this to go on. Now, there is a bill, House Democratic leaders are pushing for framework to ban Congress members from stock trading, which I think they should do. But it's just interesting that, you have this going on one hand, and then, you're charging Kim Kardashian, which is fine. It was, the coin she was promoting was junk, you know what I mean? So I'm all for shutting stuff like that down, but yeah, it just, what
It
is the
just made
theory?
crypto look bad though, like that
Yeah,
being
it's like
such a
a
big
scam.
thing. It put a negative light, like, oh, is that all they have is scam coins, and then that's not true. So just like another
Yeah.
semi-negative, putting crypto and stuff in a negative light, and it's really unfortunate because with the market and stuff, we want new investors and everything. We don't want any kind of negative light like that. And I feel like that kind of put negative light onto crypto. I feel like
Oh, 100%. When
yes,
when all people see is um like negative crypto news, like, oh, this scam or this hack,
We're
yeah,
or
not gonna, we
it
got
just
plenty of bullish news here today. I can't wait to get into it, but we got to go over some of the serious stuff. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It seems like the ones that kind of make the mainstream news are mostly negative. And the
yeah.
ones that
yes,
I find in the bullish ones, I don't find anywhere. I got to dig them out, and I see them because I'm just in the space. Um,
yes.
yeah, but there's a ton of it. I can't wait to get to it. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Coinbase users were unable to take payments or make withdrawals. Y'all Coinbase users in U.S. bank accounts? Were you
No,
guys affected
I
by
don't
that?
do Coinbase.
I
Nope.
don't either. So
I'm Canadian, so I don't need
yeah, it's not
Coinbase.
available in Hawaii. So yeah, I don't use it.
I don't use it.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't
It's
sure
kind of
what
like
had happened.
grandpa to me. It's like a grandpa
Yeah.
exchange to me.
It's like the easier one, but also the worst fees and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, maybe nothing, but Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater, the world's largest hedge fund, resigned. I don't know if there's anything. It's kind of a big player leaving his company. I don't know if I didn't really read too much into that, but it's an interesting headline. FTX reportedly wins a $50 million bid to acquire assets of bankrupt crypto lender Voyager Digital. I used Voyager. I was disappointed with that. Luckily, I do follow the, not your keys, not your coins. So as I purchase, I move it to cold wallet, if I'm not actively using it in a hot wallet, I get it off of centralized exchanges. I don't know how you guys approach that, generally speaking. So I wasn't hurt too much by it going bankrupt, but I did have a little bit of money in there. But it's interesting. FTX just seems to be gobbling everything up, though.
Yeah, they're really making a play to dominate the space.
I think they can get their hands on. It seems like. This is another interesting headline. Fed Chair Jerome Powell. He talked about the U.S. CBDC a little bit, and kind of the quote was, "It would not be anonymous." So it would kind of the point of cryptocurrency a little bit. But any U.S. CBDC would not be anonymous. I know that's one of the fears, is that it would be heavily tracked. A lot of
Yeah.
crypto people are not too happy about seeing a U.S. CBDC.
Yeah, I've been invited to talk on another news show specifically on CBDCs, especially in the context of the US, because there's like so many pitfalls that can happen and just so many ways that they can add a lot of regulation via CBDCs.
Well, this was another headline. The Atlantic Council data reveals 90% of the world's central banks are exploring CBDCs. So there's a lot of people looking at it as a way to, I don't know, their way to get involved with cryptocurrency. But yeah, it doesn't excite me too much to hear about CBDCs personally.
Me either.
It's like
Um,
the one good thing I can think of about CBDCs is that it gives us secure stable coins.
Yeah,
like
And
it could
that's
be a piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, like the secure stable coins is like just about the only thing that kind of is encouraging to me about CBDCs. Because really, the current stable coins that we do have, like right now, we don't really have any guarantee that they don't depeg. Like they aren't really secure necessarily. Binance is backed by US dollars and stuff like that, but there's still a lot of uncertainty.
All right, let's see. It's just kind of a sign that to me that the bottom's not in. Bankrupt Celsius Network CEO Alex Mashinsky has resigned. There are still big players kind of dropping out. Let's see. There was another one. Oh, in terms of regulation, because you were talking about that. The European Union has agreed on the text of its first ever regulatory framework for the regulation of cryptocurrencies, the MICA. Have you read anything about that?
I haven't gotten into it. It's on my checklist for potentially this weekend to be able to dive into it and see what exactly they're proposing.
I'll
But
give you a little bit of TLDR. It did go through the European Union and they agreed on the text. So it still needs to be approved by the European Parliament, although it is expected to be, and that vote will happen on October 10th. Crypto entities will have 18 months to prepare for the changes. So it's not something that just like instantly, crashes down. It discusses the debate over whether a crypto is security or a commodity, and it breaks down different coins into either a crypto asset, one, a utility token, the other one. The third one is asset reference token. Not really sure what that means. And four would be e-money or electronic money tokens. It sounds like stable coins to me. And then they'll be regulated based on which basket they get put in. And then the other things it's talking about is money laundering, one, consumer protection. These are kind of, things you've heard. Yeah. Crypto company accountability, environmental impact, and stable coins. So those are, some of the things. But it's a comprehensive, big, it should have a big impact on regulation, I think. And it'll be interesting to kind of watch how this plays out.
yeah, I'm interested to see how they're planning to enforce, and how quickly they're planning to how they're going to how are you going to assess stablecoin Project X that just launched? Is it a stable? How are they going to classify it?
Right.
How are they going to regulate that?
I mean, that's one of the big debates is how are you going to define all this stuff? But, people are looking for definitions. So it's like, yeah, we don't know, but someone's got to start trying, and at least they're putting pen to paper and making a law and see how it works out, And with that, the Biden administration has urged Congress to pass laws to clear up cryptocurrency regulation. So, we see the European Union actually producing law, and the Biden administration at least
Yeah, they're
acknowledging
pushing
the fact
for
that
it.
we need to do something. We can't just ignore it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what else is there as far as regulation? There was some Terra news. Do Kwon, has he been arrested? It's like they're looking for him.
They keep saying they're looking for him. I haven't heard that he's been arrested yet.
Yeah, it's like they have an arrest warrant, but how do they not arrest him? I mean, it doesn't seem like what is he hiding in a huge mansion? I mean, it can't be that hard to find him.
Yeah,
I
he's
would
got to
think.
be. I would think. Yeah. I would think somebody would have, even outed him by now,
Yeah,
like
he
as
doesn't
to
seem like
where
he'd
he
be a hard
is.
person to find if they really wanted to arrest him. But there's lots of
Right.
stories come. I don't know if they're politicizing it or there was a story out of the Wall Street Journal saying that has become politicized and Korean prosecutors are being unfair. I mean, I haven't followed it too much, but there was kind of a few stories, coming out about him. I don't know if you, but let's see. Pretty much it for regulation. In economic headlines, I can kind of bust through a few of these. Just stop me when you want. We have kind of 2 weeks worth of economic headlines. I can briefly say, just today, Bitcoin is down 3% in the last 24 hours at 19,500. Market cap is below $1 trillion at 916 billion, so kind of well below $1 trillion. And that was the one thing about the Binance thing that I didn't mention was I was surprised how little effect it had. I know it's bad news, but it didn't really sink the market. It seemed like at a certain time that would have been extremely bad news. And it
Yeah,
didn't seem to have that big of an effect on the market. I was a little surprised by that personally.
I was too. I will say I
Um,
was too.
but just kind of general economic news. Euro fell under 0.97 for the first time in 20 years. British pound fell below $1.03. So the US dollar is still doing strong. This was an interesting one. China orders state banks to buy stocks to prevent selling. So central banks buying stocks, maybe something we see going forward here. Wells Fargo said the market bottom has not been established and stocks will make lower lows in 2023. You guys agree with that sentiment in general?
Uh, I'm torn. We'll talk about some of the other news
Yeah, okay.
and see kind of
Mhm.
there's a lot of different factors that kind of impact whether we've gotten bottom yet.
Citadel CEO Ken Griffin says there will be a U.S. recession, implying we're not in one yet, which I always think is a little funny. Eurozone inflation reaches 10%, highest ever recorded. Let's see. United Nations says the Fed and other central banks are risk putting the global economy into recession if they keep raising rates. This was an interesting story. Rumors of possible bankruptcy of Credit Suisse, and there was some around Deutsche Bank too. These are big German banks. Alarmed the markets over the weekend. Credit Suisse senior executives spent the weekend reassuring people that CDS has a strong capital and liquidity position on the balance sheet. This is one of those big banks that won't be allowed to fail, kind of a thing. Would need something that happened in the United States. What was that? 2007, 2008?
Yeah.
So kind of a similar story, and that really nice to hear as far as the macro headwinds.
No.
Let's see. Lumber prices fall to its lowest level in 2 years. S&P 500 and NASDAQ record 3 consecutive quarterly declines for the first time since the 2008 recession, which I thought was interesting when no one is admitting we're in a recession. It's just
I
weird to me.
mean, yeah, I don't know why people aren't willing to admit that we're in an economic recession.
I mean,
Housing prices
officials.
are crashing in most markets, not all
Oh,
markets. There's still some hot housing.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, speaking of housing, I'm just going to throw this in there while you're bringing it up, but you can carry on. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate got over 7%, 7.06%.
yeah, I don't
Does that have a big effect?
I don't know of anyone like I wouldn't be buying a house right now.
No,
No.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
seems like a good time to wait for the bubble to really finish popping.
Yeah,
Um, the other kind
yeah,
of
unless you
big,
got a lot of cash in hand, and even then,
yeah,
the
yeah,
market's
so you're
gonna
not paying all
drop.
that interest. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it's a good time for an adjustable rate, which I know
No,
people
oh
avoid like
god,
the
I wouldn't
plague.
want a variable rate mortgage right now. You'd get
Yeah.
screwed because the Fed's still gonna keep raising rates.
Yeah, well, I guess if you're buying the whole, they're going to pivot thing. But speaking of kind of the economic news that came out today, unemployment falls to 3.5%, lowest since July 2022.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a
yeah.
friggin' night. That news tanked the market this morning.
How does how
For
does that tank
anyone,
the market?
well, because the big thing is that the job vacancy to unemployed person ratio increased. So it's been steadily around a ratio of 2 to 1. So 2 job vacancies for every individual looking for a job, which has contributed to really, really strong job market and wage growth. Well, apparently that number increased. So the Fed was hoping that the rate increases were going to help bring that number down, bring it back to like closer to 1 to 1 or less, like slowly bring it back down to that number. But it's done the opposite. I think it's now 2.1 to 1. If I remember reading the report right. So it's going up, which means they which is suggesting the Fed will continue to raise rates to basically slow the economy to help get inflation under control.
They had like an emergency meeting recently.
They were supposed
Did
to
you
have an
see that?
emergency meeting this morning,
Oh,
and
was
so
it
that
this morning?
contributed to it. I think. I wouldn't be surprised.
Because
Like,
I thought I read something about an emergency meeting and it was about like what they announced about it was like debit card usage or something really innocuous, but that they don't have to say what they were talking about. And they probably just said that. I don't know. I thought
well,
maybe it would have
they had
something
a
to do with
meeting
the
on the
Credit Suisse
third.
thing.
They had a
Yeah, like
meeting
that
on the
one.
third.
I think it was like last week or something.
Yeah, well, it was on Monday, I think.
And then the next, what's the next Fed? It's like early November or early
Yeah,
next
it's
month.
like the first week in November or so.
Yeah, I think it's really early is when we'll get our kind of next. And then I think the expectation is 0.75.
I think that's what I've heard is expectations still lingering around 0.75, especially after this job market news.
Right? There's no.
There's not really seems to be it doesn't seem to be an end in sight. The US dollar really jumped this morning and is looking still bullish
Yeah.
long term, which is never good for
Crypto markets. Yeah.
for crypto markets. A strong
Yeah.
dollar is the exact opposite of what you want for a good crypto market.
I mean, the only thing good about that and the crypto markets to me is just it's uh, shooting up so fast. It just can't. Usually when things go up that fast, they turn around and come down that fast. And that when that happens,
Yeah, but
that
the
that
dollar
might be a good
index has
sign.
been building up like momentum for like several years now. Like
Mm.
it's kind of like people were talking about
There's such a sharp rise recently.
it has been. It has been.
Usually when you see sharp rises, you know,
Yeah. Some cryptos have been holding up a lot better than others. XRP has been
yeah, there's a lot of
incredible
news.
lately.
Yeah, they've been in the news lately. I can kind of jump into theirs a little bit if you want. Now that you mention
Sure,
it.
we can do that.
On 9/29, judge overrules and orders SEC to turn over Hinman documents in the Ripple case. On 9/30, a couple of companies, a private jet company, TapJet, files applications to support Ripple in SEC case, and a global payment company, iRemit Inc., files applications to support Ripple. And then the last one was Web3 climate startup Thallo partners with Ripple to build its marketplace. And I know that I was listening to like an alpha chat with Chris from Cardinal House. He was kind of talking about XRP and why he was bullish on it. I didn't catch all of it, but essentially the general thesis being that, if this thing gets settled, it's going to be very good for XRP. If it gets settled positively for XRP.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because then big institutions in the U.S. are gonna start using it because it's supposed to be a money payment system like
Very
kind of
low
replace the
fees.
SWIFT, like
Right.
easy to transporter, transnational um money exchange and everything. And so
Right. Right.
um
Cross-border payments.
it's
Y-
it's gonna be really bullish for that.
Yeah.
And I know there's been some pretty big players that have been accumulating huge bags of.
XRP. I used to
Yeah.
own XRP. I sold all my XRP. I was just like, I got out of it just
Yeah, I
because of
don't
all
hold
the
any
FUD.
XRP.
Yeah, I don't not anymore. I don't.
I don't hold any XRP, but I do like I've been trading it pretty
Mm,
significantly. Just it's
yeah,
probably one of my like I've been trading it and ETH and then couple other tokens are kind of been what I've been focusing on.
mm.
And
You
it's been
guys want to get
pretty
into
hard to
some?
go wrong with XRP.
Oh, that's good. Well, let me know when it dips, because maybe I'll buy again. I don't know. Well, I'll watch it myself. You don't have to tell me. Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
It's only it's
D
at
D
half a
what?
buck, so it's not in a bad
Yeah.
purchasing spot. Kind of depends on what the dollar does. Like if the
Mm.
dollar continues spiking, then but it even seems like Bitcoin wants to hold the support levels that it's sitting at right now. So
It's
it's
been
kind of
tough
weird.
to make it dip much lower than 20,000. It's like operating like a stable coin around 20,000 lately.
Yeah, some say MicroStrategy is kind of behind that, but I don't know.
Well, we can get a little bit into. Well, you want to do Bitcoin news or some bullish news?
Let's
Just
start with
general
bullish, and
bullish.
we can.
I can do Bitcoin after that. Okay. I like Bitcoin news. So anyway, let's see. So there's a lot of kind of fun bullish news, but we'll just get started here. Singapore's largest bank, DBS, expands its crypto trading service to over 100,000 clients. Fortnite developer Epic Games backs metaverse infrastructure firm Hayden in a $30 million funding round. Let's see. I thought this was an interesting one. India and Vietnam saw the fastest growth in cryptocurrency adoption in 2021.
India doesn't surprise me. More and more, we've seen communities, crypto communities include a larger and larger Indian segment.
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam has also been one that I have like seen some more communities that are around that. Turkish were the other kind of big ones, but they've been a little bit more bullish on crypto for a while now. So
And there's another one here. According to Chainalysis report, Africa has the most advanced crypto ecosystem. Excessive use of peer-to-peer platforms sets the region apart. 95% of all transactions are retail transfers.
I can
Which
believe
I thought
that.
was,
They don't have
yeah,
good banking system. There's a lot of
yeah. It's
corruption
like it
in a
makes me
lot of
think of
institutions.
it makes me think of like skipping over like phone lines and just going straight to cellular lines because they didn't have the infrastructure. It's like they didn't have good cash systems, so they're skipping over it and just going straight to crypto. You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, part of it has to do with like they've got phone systems more than they've got um
Yeah,
cellular phones more than they've got like computers and
exactly. Yeah,
internet. So
yeah,
crypto's very easy to do with a cell phone.
right,
Um,
right.
so it makes
Yeah, just
sense
that was
because they
interesting.
don't have
Yeah,
like safe places to really store their money in a
right.
lot of ways. So it just makes sense to use crypto. And
You can
so
store it in a seed phrase and just remember it.
yeah, so
Um,
to me
yeah,
that
I
makes a
thought
lot of
that's
sense. I
It's
like
like they have a real use case for it. It's like the adoption is slower in that sense in the United States because there's such a strong banking system. But in these countries that do not
yeah,
have that, or continents in this case that don't have it, there's more of a need, like a true need for crypto, and they're the ones that are using it the most. Kind of proves the use case in my mind a little bit.
yeah, I mean I think part of that is also just to kind of build on that. That's part of why we see so much opposition to crypto because like why there's so many regulations on crypto here is because the banks want their still want their piece of the pie, and because the US government bailed out the banks in for
Hmm.
most people in recent enough memory, um they don't want to look bad by basically bailing on the banks by backing crypto.
Right. All right, let's get into some more of these. There's just so much. I love to see these big names. Disney hiring an attorney to work on blockchain, metaverse, DeFi, and NFT products. Let's go.
I could see Disney Metaverse being interesting, just for like it, a lot of people love those stories, and like so a metaverse, like a Disney themed metaverse with like Disney
That'd be so
products
cool.
would be, I think it'd be pretty interesting, because I mean,
Yes,
like
yeah.
I don't want to like reveal too much, but I mean, aren't you supposed to be going to Disney World soon, Peter?
I just got back. No, that's why I got COVID, dude.
Well, that's it. So
Yeah, no,
like
I went already. It was super fun.
everyone kind of like it seems like a lot of people's dream to go to Disney World. Like Disney World's like just one of those
Oh man, I joke
places
about it.
to
I was
see.
like, because I was dragging my feet a little bit, but honestly, my boy is the perfect age. He's 8 years old. He had a freaking ball at Disneyland. I can't even tell you. Like legit. Like he was like, Dad, if I get married and have a kid, I'm gonna bring him to Disneyland when he's 8 years old. He was telling me that as we're leaving. He was such a good kid the whole time. Yeah, it was really
That's a
awesome.
good age because like they'll
It's a
remember it,
perfect age, but it's funny. I was joking with my family. I'm like, in like Muslim countries, you go to Mecca once in your life. In America, it's like you have to take your kid to Disneyland. You know what I mean? Like that is
Yeah.
like our Mecca in a way. Like you cannot deny your child the Disneyland experience or something like that. But
Yeah.
it truly was amazing for him. I had a great time because he had such a good time. And I went when I was younger, so it did bring back some memories and stuff like that. But man, 2 days is a lot of it though. Like one good long day, it was plenty. The second day
Yeah.
I was done. I went to California Adventure the second day. But he did get to go on like a real roller. They have like a legit roller coaster there. So it was cool.
That
He
is
got
so
to
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, nothing bad to say about it. Even though I was kind of meh going in, it was awesome. Let's see. VeChain partners with TrueTrace to integrate blockchain technology into the pharmaceutical industry. VeChain continuing to make news a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like
one of them. They're one of them that I kind of want to start accumulating.
yeah, like a
Really,
long-term hold kind of.
yeah, I know some people that have been like holding it since the last bear
Right.
market, but
Yeah, yeah.
they weren't making the same. They were struggling to make headway in
I've
the
been seeing
last bull
more and more
market.
about them recently, though.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they've started to be making some breakthroughs, and
Not
I
financial
definitely want
advice, but yeah, there's seems like a real use case for blockchain and logistics and tracking. So it just seems to make sense, and they've been in the game a long time.
yeah.
So
So they're
and they've
definitely
survived 2 bear markets now.
yeah. So like they're definitely one that it's kind of it's on my radar as
Yeah.
yeah.
Do
I
some
should
research on that.
probably do some research and
You can
start
get it
accumulating.
on the Binance chain. You can like go to PancakeSwap and accumulate a little VeChain.
I'll just buy it on Binance, like where I
Yeah, I was doing some research on it. So like, yeah, if you have, you know, there's a way to do it that way. So, let's see. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. But yeah, DYOR. Walmart launches 2 new immersive experience in the Roblox metaverse. So there, I mean, metaverse. Hearing more and more
Walmart's
about
just
that.
freaking weird.
Yeah, it's
Like
hard to get too
Disney makes
excited about
sense.
Walmart.
They do
Disney makes
things that
sense.
don't make yeah, Disney, but Walmart's just always I feel like just I don't just doing random things like Walmart. Just they're always something involved in something that doesn't make sense for them to be.
They
I
do
feel
sell a lot
like
of toys, though. I'll give them that. It's
They
like
do
yeah,
there's
sell
no
a
more
lot of
toy
toys, but
stores
they don't.
anymore, so you go to Walmart, you go to Target for your
yeah,
toys.
true.
Having an 8-year
That's
old,
true. Yeah,
so seeing
trying
them get involved with
something.
toys makes a little bit of sense. But yeah, I hear you though.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like
true.
Disney makes a lot more like Disney like really
Yeah.
has like it's like an entertainment business.
Well, they
Whereas
have a
like
monopoly too. They own a lot of stuff.
yeah,
They own Star Wars. They own Sports Center. They own, you know, Walmart just, I don't know, it's different. Yeah. They just
yeah,
sell a bunch, you know, they don't really own it. They're just holding it
yeah.
temporarily. Let's see. UAE, country Ministry of Economics opens a headquarters in the metaverse. Ministry of Economy opened a headquarters in the metaverse. I thought that was just kind of a fun little headline. Circle announces plans to launch USDC on Polkadot, Arbitrum, Near, and Optimism networks.
Interesting. So that's good for those. I'd say that's pretty bullish for those
It's like
ecosystems.
smaller ecosystems.
They're kind of the up and I'd say more or less they're the up and coming
Yeah,
level
all of them.
yeah, layer ones, like kind of
Yeah.
they're potentially the Solano Matic um AVAX
The
chains of the
the next
last
bull.
yeah, of the next bull market. So I'm definitely keeping my eye near. Was already accumulating. Polkadot, I've been torn back and forth about accumulating. And then I was looking at accumulating some. What was the other one? Optimism, an Arbitrum.
Optimism and Arbitrum. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking to move some money into to Arbitrum um,
Mm.
soon because they haven't released their own token yet, and so if you start interacting with their ecosystem,
Mm.
um, you could be eligible for their airdrop, and that wouldn't
Mm.
be since Optimism did theirs, like there was a pretty good price appreciation there, and so you could really
Yeah.
take advantage of that. Um,
Interesting. That's a good heads up there.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Because I have
Yeah.
been
So that
seeing their name, and I was gonna check them out, but then I didn't check them out. But that's good to hear.
yeah, it's still early on that one.
yeah,
I
because I think
thought they had already launched or something. I didn't know that they didn't even have a token out yet. So that's good to know.
yeah, their token isn't out. They've got their chains there, but they haven't released their token, and
Oh,
so
they're going on my list.
yeah, I've got to go start doing some transactions. There's a few small like there's a few projects in Arbitrum, and I'm debating putting a little bit of money into a couple of them to kind of try to maximize the potential benefit that I could get from an Arbitrum when the Arbitrum launches their token.
Let's keep this moving here because there's a lot of good bullish news and you just don't really hear it anywhere else. Christie's, one of the oldest British auction houses, announced the launch of an NFT trading platform on the Ethereum blockchain. I thought that was pretty hype. Um, OpenSea partners with Warner Music Group to offer a platform for select artists to build Web3 communities. Spain's largest telecommunication company, Telefonica, is now accepting Bitcoin and crypto for technology products, not for paying bills, it looks like, but for their products. Kazakhstan's president says the country is ready to officially legalize crypto. Always like to hear that, and Binance is involved with them. I read that one already. MasterCard, I just love reading these big names, launches Crypto Secure, a software to combat fraudulent crypto transactions. Another big name here in America anyway, fashion brand Hugo Boss announces plans to launch its first ever NFT collection. Let's see, Crypto.com adds Google Play and Apple Pay support for Visa card users in Canada. Well, shout out, Ozzy, don't you know?
Interesting.
Let's see, Warner Music Group continuing. No, I kind of read that one. Oh, this is a big one, I thought. Telegram is launching a new service, WalletBot, that will allow users to trade crypto peer-to-peer directly within the app.
Telegram scares me. I don't like it's interesting that they're doing this, but Telegram has so many scams. I feel like this is just going to increase the scam activity that already occurs on Telegram.
With all this NFT, I had this in the DeFi news and rumors, but I just wanted to read it. In September, daily NFT trading volume on OpenSea was down 99% from its May 1st peak of 405 million. And reading these headlines, I kind of believe it. Yet, despite current market trends, some experts believe that NFTs will soon reach mainstream status, and NFT market could be worth 231 billion by 2030.
So I think there's a very, very key point that it was on OpenSea. And so OpenSea has been losing market share because NFTs have been moving to Cardano
Fair
and
point.
to Solano because
Yeah.
Ethereum,
And all these other marketplaces that are trying to compete.
yeah, that there's Rarible, there's a ton of different marketplaces that are
That's a good point,
competing.
Ozzy. Mhm.
OpenSea has moved to Solano, but Solano had Magic Eden, and Magic Eden is kind of the dominant player there. And so and you've got NFT Trader that's now kind of taking the
Right.
Binance and
And
AVAX
AVAX,
chains.
right.
So um
Those are
OpenSea's
good points.
OpenSea's kind of losing its traction as the
It's
kind
like
of
the
big
only
boy.
one, yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah, it's one of those kind of tricky situations where
It's like the first player, but it just hasn't continued to innovate. It seems like it's just gonna there.
yeah, they're
It's just
there
the
and
OG.
people are paying attention. I think it'll be interesting if they can position themselves, but yeah, I think NFTs have kind of moved away the from the Ethereum and Matic blockchains and are really moving to other blockchains, which is really hurting OpenSea.
It's kind of the last of the bullish. Visa has partnered with FTX to offer crypto debit cards in 40 different countries. I thought that was pretty. That just came out today, so I don't know too many of the details of that, but
Yeah,
always nice to
there
hear.
isn't there I looked, there isn't a lot of details on it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like it's cool to see that crypto payments are becoming more and more accessible. But it'll be interesting to kind of see if new players other than existing players can help kind of take some of that space. Because right
Mhm.
now, it just seems like old players kind of taking their space and taking away the space in the decentralized space like that we're trying to create.
Yeah.
It's gonna like
Yeah.
they're centralizing it.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I hear you. And yeah, the more decentralized, the better. And I really think that's one of the strong cases for Bitcoin because it really is one of the true ones. The thing that's going to hurt Bitcoin is the proof of work thing. It's going to have to fight through that, but it just may take time. But there's not too much bearish news other than kind of the macro stuff. But Coinbase was kind of in the news a little bit. Sued for 350 million over patent infringement claims, and Wells Fargo says rising competition and macro pressure will hurt Coinbase stock. And then there was a couple of other from Flow. Q3, the crypto industry lost 428 million from hacks and scams, which actually seems lower than the first quarter. So maybe some positive there. And also from Flow, Elliptic, the global leader, crypto asset risk management, revealed that more than 4 billion was laundered through DEXs, cross-chain bridges, and coin swap services. So really not too much on the bearish. California issued a cease and desist on 11 crypto firms for operating Ponzi schemes, including Nexo. They were kind of in there a little bit. And another CFO, Ashwin Pirapal, steps down. from Voyager Digital, but yeah, I mean, no big deal there. And then we can get into some of the chain news. Bitcoin, you mentioned MicroStrategy's hiring a Bitcoin Lightning software engineer to build a software and a SaaS, a SASE, a software as a service platform with building enterprise grade e-commerce and cybersecurity SaaS platform on Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. So MicroStrategy is the largest corporate holder to BTC and is trying to expand the network in creative ways. I look at Lightning kind of as like a competitor for like XRP, just like a decentralized version of it to me. To bring Bitcoin to like to be used as money.
Yeah,
That's kind
it's
of
kind of interesting, but the problem is that there's a lot of centralized holders already of Bitcoin in it. Like there's like MicroStrategy owns a ton of Bitcoin in it. Like
right.
it'll make it, and the price point for Bitcoin makes it harder for it to be used as money because
Yeah,
people
yeah.
like it's harder
It's
to
not a
acquire
stable coin.
Satoshi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. There's some other headlines. Bitcoin Lightning Network has surpassed 95 million, so it's still growing. Lightning Labs presented an alpha version of the Taro protocol. It's more like a reminder. I want to research this one. Didn't get around to it. I thought this was interesting. Less than 9% of Bitcoin is on exchanges, the lowest since 2018.
I'm expecting that
So
number to continue going down as big whales accumulate Bitcoin.
that would be good. I mean, it would once if we ever get to, a more bullish situation, that kind of squeeze, could make the price action go up pretty quickly, honestly.
Yeah, except it
Hopefully.
would then cause, like, as a whale, whenever a whale decides to sell, it would cause a massive dump.
Mm, yeah, I guess it can go both ways. Yeah, they can put a bunch onto the exchanges as
Yeah.
well. The Bitcoin hash rate reached an all-time high, which just increases the security against the quote unquote 51% attack, which seems impossible for Bitcoin at this point, and just also increases decentralization worldwide in terms of the nodes and stuff like that. Let's see. So, fun fact: there's less than 2 million Bitcoin left to be mined from now for eternity. Let's see. 65.82% of Bitcoin supply has not moved in the last year. And I thought this one was fun. I almost, and I still may, change my avatar to this. Hungary is the home of the first ever Satoshi Nakamoto Bitcoin statue in the world. Check that thing out. Let's see. It's from Flow. Bitcoin managed to hold its ground in Q3 of 2022 despite overwhelmingly negative sentiment in traditional markets. Mainstream media sentiment shifted in favor of Bitcoin due to BTC's standout performance with these macro trends. And one last final one, McDonald's. A McDonald's store in Switzerland has started accepting Bitcoin payments over the Lightning Network. So this is buying a cup of coffee, so to quote unquote, buying a cheeseburger with your Bitcoin Lightning Network.
Wow.
Yeah,
Kind of neat.
that cup of coffee is
That's
gonna get really expensive though. When you think of it down in the future, your
Yeah.
cup of coffee will
yeah.
be worth a lot more than $5.
Well, if you buy your Bitcoin now, it'll be cheaper.
No, but I'm
Oh.
talking about the appreciation of the Bitcoin. Like,
Yeah, it'll go up, and then well, hopefully, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
they'll have to adjust the price or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
well,
It'll be
yeah, 'cause,
interesting to
like
see
if you
how
bought
that
it
works
for
out.
$5 of current Bitcoin,
And they're
well,
selling
in
it for the same Bitcoin price. But if they adjust it, yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that works out. But I see your point. Yeah. I don't know exactly how that plays out. I'm not going to give up my Bitcoin easily, so I'm not intending to buy cups of coffee with it, quite honestly.
no, any Bitcoin. My hope is that I can accumulate 1 Bitcoin before the next bull market, and like I'm not
There you
letting
go.
go of that Bitcoin.
All right, so now we're gonna get into the chain news. There's not too much of it, and we did the Solana. There's not really too much. Ethereum, the total value locked on Ethereum 2.0 is surpasses 14 million. The number seems a little small to me, but and Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin released his book Proof of Stake. If you're into reading about your boy Vitalik, German telco giant Deutsche Telekom announces plans to run an Ethereum validator. I thought that was interesting, just that a big telecommunication company is running a Ethereum validator node. I thought that was interesting, getting in the game. And the number of Ethereum addresses surpassed 87 million. So Ethereum continuing to grow. Binance, this was kind of a fun one. I know they had kind of some bad news overnight, but Binance was on display at the tallest building in the world. Did you guys see that picture? The
I didn't
Burj
see the picture, but
Khalifa? Yeah, it's neat.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw it.
because they were at
Um,
there was a big conference
It's
in
like an
Dubai.
active sign. Yeah, it's like like a moving billboard sort of with the largest building in the world. It's pretty neat, you know. Uh, let's see, just fun to look at. Worth checking out if you get a chance. Let's see. Yeah, some Binance usually has some good news, but kind of overshadowed by what happened yesterday. One interesting one, Binance launches a global law enforcement training program to help authorities fight digital asset exploiters. That's a good one. Let's see, Polygon. E-commerce platform Shopping.io adds support for Matic as a payment method. Robinhood launches beta Web3 crypto wallet app with support for Polygon as its first network. So Robinhood expanding their wallet. I guess it was pretty limited. I never used Robinhood, but I know a lot of people do. So
Oh, I'm waiting. I can't wait to the GameStop documentary is on my to watch list for this weekend,
uh,
and I'm very interested to hear what's being said about because Robinhood played a pretty big part in that. So I'm interested to hear what they say about it.
it looks like since then, so that was on 9/27. On 9/29, Robinhood adds support to send and receive AVAX. So let's see, and then Cardano, the Vassal hard fork deployment has begun. We kind of already knew that. And Cardano surpasses 3.9 million wallet addresses. Just to put that into perspective, ETH has 87 million wallet addresses. So you're still early if you're in Cardano. A little bit out of Polkadot. Tether launches USDT on the Polkadot network.
Yeah,
And
it's things are starting to look up for Polkadot. They really kind of underperformed in the last bull market. And so it's kind of good to see them performing at a higher level right now.
they're layer 0, right? They're like,
They're really a layer 0.
yeah.
And so it's good. I'm excited to see
They're
what
kind of going about it at a new way. It'll be curious to see, how they do with the next bull. Yeah, if they can kind of start to compete with things like Ethereum or Binance or something like that. Let's see, Gnosis Safe platform. They do all the multi-sig stuff, right? Gnosis.
Yeah.
They're going to airdrop a safe governance token. I don't know if I'm not really involved with that, but I thought it was just interesting. There's going to be an airdrop from Gnosis, I guess, if you're involved with them. We're getting into DeFi news and rumors now. Uniswap raised equity of 1 billion. Yeah, how many zeros is that? Yeah, 1 billion. So they had a big raise, Uniswap. I mentioned that one already. DeFi Project One was that? Yeah, we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done here. This one was interesting. This is also from Chris over at Cardinal House. Celsius released every single user's name with every detail of every single transaction to the court in their case.
I heard that. That
The
was
court made these docs public as crypto is not considered in this manner. It's not considered a breach of privacy in this manner. Celsius co-founder took 10 million or more each before declaring bankruptcy. So they took money out before they declared bankruptcy. And there are two big pieces here, according to Chris. Crypto is secure as far as the blockchain is concerned, but this has no correlation with assets on exchanges. So just be careful with centralized exchanges. I know you hear this all the time, but don't assume, you're safe on one of these things. All these documents will most likely be audited at some point in the next weeks. So you may be getting dinged for tax evasion as well as other illegal activities. So yeah, just be careful if you're on centralized exchanges. Yeah, and that's pretty much it as far as the news. So yeah,
lots of crazy news going on.
Yes. It's been busy.
yeah. So what's going on over at Nat Chat? You wanna?
We have been actually
Promote
upgrading some
anything?
things over there.
Yeah, it's
there's been some.
exciting.
Yeah, I got with somebody and they have been putting some updates on the server actually. So it's like really nice and clean and laid out. There is some new channels on there as well. There's like some gaming, some music channels, like other news channels, a crypto security channel. Like there's just a lot of
Like
stuff getting added
there's a
over
Yabonks
there.
news channel.
Yeah, there's a Yabox News channel as well. Yep. We
We gotta
got
invite him over here one day.
yes, he's fun. He's fun. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff getting added over there. There's a lot more things coming. We've been doing some announcements of like projects that have been coming out and stuff like that. Like we just did like the Warfi one and somebody won an
Mhm.
NFT there as well as the Frozen Walrus. So we've been doing little different things and just make sure like, the community gets to win something each time, so it's been fun. Little things have been coming in and more things on the way for sure. Definitely got a lot in the works. I've been so busy setting things up.
I'm waiting for you to
It's
do
been
your first
busy.
AMA. I'm surprised you've never done one.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah,
hosted your
I'm working on that. Yeah, I got the stage over there now. We got that set up. Like, so there's the AMA section set up now over there with like AMA questions, and then there's like Nat Chat Spear is gonna be the stage. So that's all good. Just need to run like a testing on it, make sure everything's all good. But that's added over there now too. We've been working over there for sure.
right on. I'm excited to see what comes of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like,
Thanks.
do you know what? We should go do our show over on their stage on the Nat Chat stage soon.
oh
That's
yeah, if you want
Oh
to do that
yeah, we could do that.
as
Yeah,
like
we
a
could do
test
that.
run, you could test your system, and we could
Yeah,
just do the show over there. That's a good
that sounds
idea.
good. Yeah, we could set that up for sure. Sounds good to
All
me.
right, lock it up. Let's do it. That sounds like
Yes.
fun.
Yes, lock it up. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's
Sounds
set the date next week. Next week on Thursday or something. Let's
Thursday,
make
I'm
it happen.
flying home, so like I'm still on holiday, yeah. But like I
Oh
got
yeah, that's
COVID,
right. Yeah.
so I was like, I got
Oh,
kind of
we'll
stuck
we'll
at
figure it
home.
out. We'll set it. Let's set a date. Hopefully
But
for
yeah, if
next
you wanted to
week.
do it earlier in the week, well, I'll talk to you. Yeah, because I'll be
Yeah,
kind of
we'll figure
just
it out.
quarantining. But yeah, if you wanted to do it, but yeah, it sounds like
Yeah, I'm
fun. I'm
down.
totally down.
I'm down for it. Yeah, me too. Let's do this.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to touch base with Stud, so not a ton of updates on Universal. I know we're kind of waiting on a hard date for being able to exchange the AU land for AVAX, but that is coming. And there is a strategy behind dragging our feet a little bit, but we'll get you a date as soon as it becomes available.
Yeah,
And
I know he
hopefully,
was having internet. He was having electricity issues.
yeah,
They got some of the kind of side effects of some of the hurricanes that have been
Oh yeah,
going
that was
through.
going on too. Oh. So many
Yeah.
things have been going on.
Yeah,
I know I'm
so
excited to get with them to talk about kind of opening up investment for the trading bot too and getting that going.
yeah,
So,
I'm
we've
interested
had
to see
some-
how it would have performed on a day like today too, because how it performs on days like this are equally as important as what it does on a regular day.
Absolutely. Yeah. All
So
right, well, let's wrap it up. We're pushing out over an hour, but just thank you so much for joining again, Nat. It's always really nice to have you, and look forward to doing it on your stage. That'll be fun.
yeah, I
Yes, thank you
really
so
look forward
much.
to it.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
I can't wait for this. Thank you so much for having me again. It was definitely a pleasure. And I cannot wait until we do one over there. It's gonna be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, so
You're always welcome here, Nat. You just know that.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
yeah, and you're great to like to share the stage with. You're such a presence and you got so much energy. So
It's
it's
super
just
positive,
amazing.
which I love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thank you so
it's
much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah,
I love
of
being with
course.
you guys up here. It's great. I love it. I get excited every time. I get nervous and excited, and it's
Oh, if
always a
you didn't
good
get
time.
nervous, it wouldn't be worth doing. I swear, it's a good sign.
Yes, it's always a good time. I really appreciate it. I enjoy it so much talking with you guys every time. It's really fun. Can't wait for the next one.
yeah.
Thank you too, Ozzy. And everyone, just keep an eye on our YouTube channel. Please do subscribe. You can get the latest drops as they come out. And yeah, we'll see you all next week.
See you next week.
All right, thanks everybody.